Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. And as you can see, we have a very special guest today. We have Jed from Love is Blind UK season 2. So we're super honored he is here to chat with us today. So thanks for being here.
No,
And
thanks for having me.
of course, we're super excited to talk all about the show. Everybody loves it. Our
Yeah.
viewers love it. So why don't we go way back to the start to how you found yourself on the show? So why don't you let us know how you got cast on Love is Blind?
Okay, cool. So in my own little world, going to work, going to the gym and everything like that. And just one day I got a message, a DM on Instagram, and it was a casting lady. She said, "Oh, exciting new show. Would you want to hear more about it? It's a dating show." And I thought, oh, my dating life's a bit in a rut. I feel like I was just doing the same old things, like talking about the same old things. And I was telling my mates, like, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Should I do it? And they're like, what have you got to lose? Like, you're the only single one. They made sure I remembered that.
Yeah.
And and I just said, yeah, like, what have I got to lose? I feel like I've got everything set in my life. Literally, the only thing I kind of want right now is like a wife, the babies, a home. And I kind of want, I want that because I've got people around me that have that, and mum and dad are still together. So it's something that I think I'm ready for.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So to walk us through the pods, because we only seen your connection with Barda. What
Yeah.
made you fall for Barda in the first place, and were there any other connections that you had in the pods?
Yeah, so obviously going into the pods, you're kind of like raring to go. You're dating all 15 girls. The first dates are very like short, so you have to try and give a lot of energy down. You have to like come up with like positive stuff. So obviously people get like kind of attracted to you. Um, the more dates I went on with Barda, we started talking about like family and we started talking about culture, tradition. There was a lot of stuff I've seen. I've seen online people saying Albanians and Lebanese, they're nothing like each other. I don't think that's what we were going for. I think it was
Yeah.
just like it's very like the same kind of upbringing. It's very close. It's very like you're close to your family. You respect your elders, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that it felt like more like home to me because obviously missing obviously home being in this experiment. I was like, oh, I can relate to this.
Mhm.
I did have another connection. You don't really see her too much in the episodes. Her name was Holly.
Okay.
She was a chef. We had some great chats. But again, I had more of a deeper connection with Barda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw it was pretty like smooth sailing for you two in the
Yeah,
pods. No problems seemed to like come up, no red flags, no future issues. But then when
yeah,
you got out of the pods, you did just have the one little argument sort of about paying for things and the
yeah.
provider. Did that come up in the pods at all, or was that sort of not really something you discussed and it was more of a surprise, or was that something you guys discussed in the pods and we just didn't really see it as much?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it a little bit in the pods, but because we weren't in any situation to see how
Yeah.
kind of how we are providers in the real world, it was kind of like, oh, like I like to take care of stuff and she likes to take care of stuff too. But it's like until we get out in the real world, that's when we really kind of see how it kind of plays out. So yeah,
Hmm.
it was spoken about, but yeah, like you say, it was when we had that dinner, which obviously you guys don't really see, but we speak about. That's when I kind of saw how she kind of approached situations. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, because for the viewer, it was
Oh
very
no.
confusing. Like,
Oh,
you
no.
guys, like, really, like, if I had to pick a couple that I'm like, they're for sure going to get married, they're not having any issues, like, everything is A-okay. And then
Yeah.
the first argument we see, we call it a bachelor party here in America. You guys call
Okay,
it
cool.
a stag do, I
A
guess.
stag do.
Or a
Yes,
Yeah,
hen
good
do.
okay.
girl.
I was like, what the hell is that? But I put two and two together.
Yeah.
So at the
Love it.
stag do is the first time that we hear you kind of talking about this first argument and the
Yeah.
money, and you said you wanted to take care of the dinner, and
Yeah.
she kind of pulled her card out. What the hell happened? Because to me, it's like I just didn't get what's the problem. Let him pay. Like, let him pay
Okay.
all the time. You can pay all the
Yeah.
time and be like, just go ahead,
Ah,
pay all the bills.
Yeah.
girls. Let me take you back a little bit. So remember when her friend come to see us and she was absolutely grilling me? Okay,
Yes.
so after we got to filming, we went out for dinner, me, Bada, and Liv.
Mhm.
We went for pizza. We are having a good old chat. Liv's actually not as scary as she might seem on the show. She's actually
Love
quite
it.
nice. But yeah, it was just normal. Like cameras all the way, everyone was relaxed, and it was sweet. So went for pizza. The bill come, and Bada went to pay. Liv looked at me, was like, "You're letting her pay?" And I was like, "Look, I know what Barda's like. I feel like she wants to pay. Like you're her friend. Let her do her thing. Because I know my friends are coming tomorrow for dinner,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna pay that one." So okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
cool. Everything's cool. Everything's smooth. So woke up in the morning. I know my friends are coming tonight, so I pull Barda as we're getting ready. I said, Barda, you paid yesterday. Let me take care of like the bill today because if we start squabbling, my friend's just going to tap it. It's something that he does. He doesn't like awkward situations, or he just likes to tap it and then everyone go. But he's coming up to Manchester. He's coming out of his way. I really don't want that. So I just said to Barda, look, let me get this one. Cool. You've paid yesterday for your friend. Let me take care of my friends and you. Cool.
Mhm.
So dinner's happening, everyone's vibing, everyone's having like a good time, good food, good drink. Everyone's getting on. Um, she goes to the toilet, and me and my boys, they're like, so I'm asking them, oh, what do you think? What do you think? And they're like, she's a good one, she's a good one. So I was like, okay, cool, sweet. Um, the lady comes over with the card machine, and
Mhm.
she's kind of like, so it's like a four, but I'm like kind of furthest away. Barda's to my left, and I've got my two mates obviously near the waitress. So she
Mhm.
gets it out, and then Barda's getting her card out. And I was like, no, 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 babe. Like, remember what we said? Like, I communicated with you. I was open with you. I wanted to pay this one. And as we're like, obviously having a little thing, my mate's just gone beep. And I
Uh-huh.
kind of just sat back, and we've said it's not even about the bill. Like
Mhm.
she pays her way, I pay my way. That's just the way it was.
Yeah.
It's just about being heard. It's about the communication. I felt like I was like I was open, obviously, to how I wanted the night to go.
Mhm.
I was kind of open to letting her pay for her friends, so I just kind of didn't get the same, almost like respect of okay, like listen to me, let me take care of this one because I know like we're both going to be paying like going forward. So it was just about
Mhm.
the communication. I thought, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of just sat a little bit differently with me.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense knowing that your friends were there and that her friend was there because the way they explained it, or like you both explained it on camera, was it seemed like just a dinner with the two of you, right? So it was sort of like, what is the
Yeah,
big deal? But yeah,
yeah,
knowing obviously when it's your friends, you want to treat your friends. So that gives
yeah,
a lot more context to
yeah,
what happened. So we
Yeah.
like hearing these stories because, yeah, sometimes you watch it and you're like, we're definitely missing something here because
yeah,
it's not adding up at all. So that
yeah,
makes
I
sense.
feel
Yeah.
like nothing about their story added up. It was all about like provider and like money. And I'm like, just let a
yeah.
man. Are you a provider man, Jed? Like, let's set the record straight.
I'm
Are
gonna say
you?
it right here,
Let's
right
set it
now.
right. Let's straight.
Yeah.
Are you a provider man? You be paying the bills or what?
I am. It's coming from my dad. My dad's very traditional. He's very Lebanese. They literally run to the counter to go and pay before the other one realizes that. But it's not even.
Uh,
Again, it's not even about paying. It was like I was compromising because obviously I'm a traditional man. I provide. I like to pay, or I like to like do actions so people can like appreciate it. But I just felt like she didn't really appreciate it. She wasn't really compromising. So it was just like it kind of just not respecting kind of me in that sense. So it was a bit like a dig a little bit.
Okay.
yeah, sort of
Okay.
like a love language type thing where like
Yeah,
yours might be
yeah,
acts of service or paying for things and she wasn't understanding like that's you showing that you love her or that you care, like that's your way of taking care of
yeah.
somebody.
And
So,
obviously,
yeah.
because our friends were my friends were there as well. It was kind of like a love language towards them, showing them that I really appreciate you coming down. Manchester's quite far away from like Essex, and the other one lives in Kent. So it was just
Mm,
an appreciation of me to them. Like I didn't
Mhm.
need her to kind of show off. I didn't need her to kind of make the move of making the payment. It was just not about that. It was just about communication breakdown.
Yeah,
okay.
that makes sense.
Okay.
So you mentioned her friend Liv already, obviously. She seemed very skeptical on camera, so that's good to know she was less skeptical off camera. And then your parents were wonderful and they seemed very they seemed very supportive of the journey that you and Barda were on off camera. Were they like more hesitant? Did they have reservations or were they just as supportive off
To be
camera
fair,
as well?
Yeah, to be fair, my mum and dad are what you see is what you get. They're very supportive. I feel like just in general, if someone just makes me happy,
Mhm.
then that's all they care about. Like, I'm
Okay.
always going to be their son. I'm always going to be like their little one, even though I'm taller than them.
Yeah.
It's just about, yeah, they just want to see their son smile. They want to see my son happy. And they kind of got glimpses of that when we did the family meet and stuff like that. But you could
Mhm.
see, even at the wedding, even after the no, like my mum and dad would just chill. They said to her, if it's not the right time for you, then it's not right. There was a lot of
Mhm.
respect there. So yeah, they were just like, it's all about timing. Obviously, it's quite hard to explain an experiment to them
Yeah.
Mhm.
of like how quick pace and how intense it is. But yeah, they backed me in my decisions, and yeah, they're always there for me.
Okay.
Aw, love it.
Okay. So I have to ask, would you have said yes at the altar?
Oh, so I am such a confident guy when I make decisions, right? So it come to the wedding day, and we had a few bickers leading up to it. So normally I'm like, no, I'm going to see myself out of this situation because it's not 100%.
Mhm.
So leading up to it, I was pretty confident I was going to say yes. I was like, look, a few bickers. This is marriage. It means a hell of a lot to me. A few
Mhm.
bickers don't like. We've had such a good time. It doesn't. These bickers didn't really mean too much to me.
Mhm.
And then got to the wedding day, and I was speaking to my mum and dad, and I was speaking to my boys, as you see on the edit. And I was
Mhm.
just thinking in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not 100%. We had like chats leading up to it, and I even told Barda, sorry, I'm like 50-50 at the minute, where she was
Mhm.
telling me, she was telling my friends, no matter what he does, no matter what he says, I'm always 100%. So
Mhm.
going into it, I'm thinking, oh, this is down to me, which maybe put a little bit more pressure on me. She was also
Mhm.
giving me like ultimatums. If you don't say yes at the altar, like, oh, we're done. When before she was like, oh, I still want to date you after. So like, there's a lot of mixed messages. There was a lot of stuff going into it, and
Mhm.
standing up there, I was kind of in two minds. And I saw her walking down. I was like, yeah, I can marry this girl. Like, I can marry her. We've been through
Mhm.
so much,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
a few bickers is not going to taint like what we've been through.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you didn't
So
know she was gonna say no?
No, in my mind, in the interviews, I think I even said to the boys, "Do you know what she?" I think it's aired. They asked me, "Do you
Yeah.
feel like you know what she's going to say?" And I said, "Yeah, I think she's going to say yeah." From the conversations that we had, so
Mhm.
kind of taking it back to the dinner, taking it back to the wedding day, and there's a big communication breakdown. This is like potentially the biggest day of our lives together,
Yeah.
and these are the moments where you're not talking to me. So I'm thinking, like, what can I
Mhm.
do?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She did mention some fight 24 hours before the
Yeah,
wedding, but I
yeah.
thought, were you not seeing each other the few days before? Was that like off camera? Is that what she meant? Or yeah,
Yes.
what was she talking about?
So that was actually going to the airport. So we actually went to the airport together,
Mm.
Okay.
and so when we got on the plane, you get to where the location for the wedding is, and then you go your separate ways, and that's when you don't talk. So
Okay.
the argument just happened at the airport.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think maybe the pressure, maybe it just got to us a little bit, but there was loads of things leading up to it that I just didn't like. It didn't sit right with me, and obviously, yeah, it was kind of like just going a bit downhill, and I was like, what is happening? Like, why are we like this? We didn't bicker through the whole thing, and people were telling us like, it's not right to bicker. But for me, you don't need
Mhm.
to bicker. You might need to
Yeah.
understand how to resolve conflicts, but
Mhm.
I feel like you don't need to have arguments, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that argument about, if you don't mind me asking?
No, of course.
We're
So,
so nosy.
no, of course. So with like the whole build up and the miscommunication, I've got obviously all of that kind of on my mind. All these dates that so we had a week before the wedding. So I'm just going to take you back a little bit so you kind of
Yeah.
understand kind of
Tell give
Yeah.
us
my mindset.
give it to us.
Love it. We love
So
a
we
timeline.
just makes a little bit more sense in my head as well, to be fair.
Right.
Yeah.
So leading up, we had a week from leaving the Manchester apartments to the wedding. And we went on a couple of dates with my friends, just so they can maybe like see her and just have a bit of fun, just relax, because it was an intense like experiment. We've got the
Mhm.
Mhm.
wedding coming up. We like went and met them. We did like karaoke. We did mini golf and stuff like that.
Who
But every
paid?
time,
I'm just
so, sorry.
who paid for
She
the
said he paid.
I don't know. I actually don't know. But I think it was me. I think it was me, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So leading up to it, yeah, every time we had these dates, she'd turn up like an hour and a half late.
Mm.
And I wouldn't get the communication as to why. So my friends were like, we were going out for dinner once. We did a bit of shopping, going out for dinner, and my mates were asking me like, "Where's Barda?" And I said to them, I actually don't know. I don't know where she is. And I'm
Okay.
thinking like, this is another thing that I communicated to her, like I know get like, you two might not be the same, but girls are notoriously late. They like to
Yes.
get ready. They like to do their things. Okay. But
Yes.
an hour and a half, 2 hours late is a bit, yeah, with no communication again. So I'm just like, I don't know where my fiance is. So
Mhm.
it was just a bit like that. So got to the airport and there was a party that I was invited to after. But he said to me, um, it's one of the cast members. I won't drop him in it, but one of the cast members had a party.
Mm.
So I had it, and he said, "Look, I know you got a lot on. Don't need to reply. I just need to, like, obviously send you the message so I can just know that I've sent it to you." So told Barda this. I got the invite, and I told Barda, "Oh, he sent me an invite." He goes, Barda goes to me, "Oh, am I invited?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not too sure. I literally just said to him, like, appreciate you sending a message. I'll get back to you. Got the wedding to sort out." She goes, "Oh, are there other girls going, like from the cast?" And I said, "Babe, don't really know. Just literally just replied, showed her that I replied. I'm not too sure. It doesn't really say too much. Just said like kind of where it is. Oh, you wouldn't want me to go, would you?" I'm thinking, oh my god, like
Yeah.
out of everything going on, these are like the less like you. It's just something not to care about. Like we got a wedding.
Yeah.
I want to talk. I want to get happy. I want to get buzzy. And I could just feel from her tone that she was just yeah, like just I don't know, like I felt my priorities were wedding, I wanna see my family, I wanna see all this, and I just felt like she cared too much about a party. So then we just had a bit of a squabble and it was just like with our conversations, our little bickers, we always ended up icy because where we had no bickers before, and then a week up to the wedding, it was like we didn't know how to resolve it. So we
Mhm.
she wouldn't really see my point of view. I wouldn't really see hers, and it just
Mm.
got ended up like we're just kind of sitting next to each other and just kind of not talking. And I'm thinking, this is a day before the wedding. What is going on?
Mm.
Mhm.
So that
Do
was
you
just leading up to the wedding. It's just not a good foot to kind of go off, is it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't
Maybe
seem like it. Mm-mm.
do you think maybe she thought because you weren't like, of course you're coming to the party with me, like we're gonna be married, and maybe she thought because you weren't saying like, yes, we would go together, that she took that because some of us women like to read into things a lot
Yeah,
and like try to like think too far ahead, and when men are more just like, this doesn't mean that, but we think it means something, so maybe she took
yeah,
that as you being like, well, we're not gonna be together then, so why would you go, like why would you come to this party? Maybe she was just reading too far into it, and that's like a common miscommunication, I think, between men and
yeah,
women where you think you're being direct and it doesn't mean anything, and she maybe just took that the wrong way. But we're just trying to figure out because we keep hearing about this fight 24 hours before that changed her
yeah,
mind completely, and we're like, what? Just from the way you described it, we're like, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. So
yeah,
it's hard.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
hard to see where.
yeah. Yeah, in my mind, it wasn't a big deal,
Hmm.
and I kind of appreciate like your point of view on it. However, if Jav was just getting the boys together, because obviously I didn't know how close he was with the girls after obviously what he's just done. I didn't know
Mm.
who his circle was, so I can't say to Bada, "Oh yeah, you're definitely invited because like we're getting married." If it was just a boys thing, but
Yeah,
I was like, let me find out after. I haven't really messaged him. Like I'm not really messaging anyone. I kind of wanted to put my phone away wedding. I wanted to get ready and things like that. So
Mhm.
I kind of get like, yeah, I could have maybe said I'm not, but I just didn't know any details. It was just
yeah,
like I don't know who's going. I
Mm.
barely know where it is. I
Mhm.
messaged
uh-huh,
him that I appreciate. I didn't even say I'm coming. I said I appreciate it. Let me
yeah,
get this wedding done and I'll get back to you.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, I just relate to that because I've been married for a long time. And I'm like, this sounds like an argument my husband and I would have because he will be like, yeah, this is happening on this day. And I'm like, okay, well, like, who's going? What's happening?
yeah.
And he's like,
And guys just don't know anything. They're just like, I don't know. Like, and
Well,
you're like,
I'm not.
tell me. Like,
yeah,
ask.
I'm like, I want to know the address. I want to know what people are wearing. I want every detail. And that's how us women are. And then men are like, I literally, the parties then, that's all I know. That I'm not talking about
Yeah,
anything else. So
Yes, and I can
it's
yeah.
just,
totally see you being like, oh, so you don't want me to go then? Like that's what's going on. You don't want me there, clearly.
yeah.
Girls, I think you've just got it spot on. I think it was just literally like a miscommunication. She obviously wanted to know more details. I was like, I don't have the details for you. And then
Men never have the
We
details. Y'all never have the details.
Look, all I know, it was the
Never.
birthday boy. The birthday boy was gonna be there. That's all I know.
See, I think
Um,
maybe we should become like marriage therapists instead because I'm like, I can see the problem right here. This is so obvious. Like,
It's
but
it's
too
for
just,
it to be
just
blown out of proportion and to be
yeah,
sitting next to each other, I'm thinking like it just really didn't need to. So I'm thinking like, why, where, and how?
was it just because of this birthday party, or was it also mixed in because she had been late to a few of the
Yeah,
friends
yeah, yeah.
gathering? It was all of it.
Yeah, for
a
me
lot.
personally, it was all of it like leading up to it. There was
Mm,
like, yeah, the ultimatum being late. That yeah, there are a few things that are not like massive by themselves, but
mm.
through
Yeah.
them and with a wedding and the pressure, it's just like, I kind of wanted like a smooth head going into it, and yeah, I just kind of didn't feel that from her.
Okay. Okay. So can you walk us through what happened after the altar? Because we heard on the reunion that you guys dated for a few weeks after the
Yeah.
altar, and then there was this ex in the gym, and the story
Okay.
didn't make no damn sense on the
Okay. Let me
reunion.
let
A
me
lot.
let me
I'm
explain.
just telling you now, it didn't make no sense. Your ex has been in comments. I got her comments from
I know,
Instagram.
madness.
You
Yeah.
didn't know?
Well, I don't go searching for this stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to
We
be
nor
happy.
do we. It just comes to us. But
Oh,
yeah,
really?
They
Vicky,
send us everything.
Vicky, that's the ex we're talking about. Oh yeah, she's been
She's,
very active in the comments. So you tell us what happened,
But
then
like,
I'm gonna tell you
yeah.
what she said.
But like literally, I've heard little bits, but I'll tell you my story, and
Okay.
yes. Let's
hopefully,
hear
like you
yours
understand,
first.
obviously, from my side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, um, I've heard that apparently I left. Well, sorry. So obviously, when I was with her, we went to the gym, my ex,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and then I've heard stories that say that I left that gym and then went back, but I didn't. I think it was where I was on the show. I left the gym and then
Right.
I went back because I've only been to that gym. So went to the gym. Obviously, I've seen her a few times. She's got a new boyfriend. I don't make no stress. I'm not really that kind of guy. I keep that thing down on a down low.
Mm.
However, in Essex, and this will prove it, all right? So you might have heard me saying it on a reunion. In Essex, everyone knows everyone and everyone knows
Yeah.
everything. It
Yes.
proves it because my ex already knew that I was on the show. And
Mm-hmm.
believe me, I didn't tell her. None of my
Mm.
friends would have told her. So she would have found out somehow.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
that just shows you everyone in Essex, where obviously I live, just knows everything. So
Mm.
obviously at the time, I didn't know that my ex knew I was on the show.
Right.
So I'm thinking, look, she's got her boyfriend. She might like she's in the gym maybe when I'm there or whatever. So we might bump into her, might not. I thought like this is still my gym. I want to take Bada to the gym. We've been there like a few times. It's been sweet. And obviously straight after the altar, me and Bada like were having like communication, and she was like, "I'm still going to wear the ring out of commitment."
Mm.
And for me, it's a bit like maybe I should have been a bit more open and said to her, maybe it's not the right thing because
Mhm.
it's a big commitment. For me personally, I felt like that engagement was done. You can't like who dates after the altar really, but
Mhm.
that engagement in particular it has been done. I said to her, if I'm gonna propose again, I'm a big gesture guy. I'm gonna propose. And
Mm.
she was asking me like, "What are we? What are we?" And I said, "Babe, like it's been a week. It's been 2 weeks after the altar. You can't be asking me questions like this." And that's
Mhm.
where I was open. And I said, "Look, I'm all for you, but we're not engaged. Like we're not
Yeah.
engaged."
Okay.
So
Okay.
she's still wearing a ring out commitment. I should have said maybe like, I don't think this is a good idea,
Yeah.
etc. On the show, so basically after the wedding, all the cast members that made it that far to the wedding got an email saying, "Don't wear your rings, even if you're married, you're not allowed to. Ruins the story." And obviously, again in Essex, I haven't posted anything about a girlfriend. I'm very like kind of open on socials. If I'm dating someone, if I've got a girlfriend, I'll post cute little pictures and all that kind of stuff. So obviously, if I'm seen out with this new woman, this mysterious woman who's now got a ring, people are going to be like, "Hold on,
Yeah.
what? Have I missed something here? Have I missed the
Mhm.
stage?"
Yeah.
So, and that's again where I should have maybe been open and be like, maybe now is not the time to wear your ring. But okay, I didn't
Mhm.
because I appreciated what she was doing. I was like, okay, cool, let's roll with it. So this one random day, said, "Look, let's go to the gym. Let's go smash out a workout." Went to the gym, and my ex was in there with her boyfriend.
Mhm.
Bada, in an interview, said that she didn't know it was my ex, but I'm going to say that I don't agree with what she said because she's seen pictures of her. Uh,
Okay.
like, I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
Um, so she knew, but obviously she didn't say, and I'm not expecting her to say, but I'm just saying that she knew. So
Yeah.
I said to her, like, "Oh, like, we're going to the gym. Do you mind if you kind of like spin your ring round?" So obviously we don't get caught by anyone, but obviously out of everyone who's going to speak, it would be an ex, wouldn't it? It would be just an
Mhm.
Yeah.
ex partner. I'd be like, "Oh my god, have you seen who Jed's with? Or have you seen the girl he's going to the gym with?" Not that. And in the reunion, I think I actually worded it wrong. I didn't mean that she was going to cause a fuss. I didn't mean she was going to cause drama, being my
Mhm.
ex. I
Mhm.
just meant if she notices it, she might talk and she might communicate with one of her friends,
Yeah.
and that's just not allowed. Like in our contract, it's just not allowed. So
Yeah.
I just said to her, "Oh, do you mind if you do it?" I actually can't remember if she did it or not, but I kind of just didn't want to cause no friction in the gym. I want to smash out a workout, come home, we have a safe environment, and we talk about it, and I kind of explain.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
get her point about communicating it early and telling telling her Mike's was in the gym. I do get that. But if she knew me deep down, which I thought she did, there is no malice behind what I do. I
Yeah.
was trying to keep peace with everyone. I was trying not to
Mhm.
hurt Barda's feelings. I was definitely not trying to put my ex over Barda because that's not
Mhm.
something I do. I was just trying to not to make a scene. I wanted to get home and then talk about it. So when we got home again, it was the icy feeling and stuff like that. And I said to her, "Baby, you're right. You're not really feeling yourself." Yeah, like we spoke about it, and I thought we squashed it, but apparently not, because at the reunion I got absolutely grilled again.
Yeah.
But
That's the
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
confusing part to me is just that I know now in press she's saying something happened 24 hours before the wedding where she was like, I can't be with this person. But then it sounds like, for weeks she did want to be engaged to you and did want to be with you. So that is a
Okay.
little tricky, but
But then
maybe.
there's sorry to cut you off, my darling. There's just one
Oh,
other
that's
thing
okay.
that I want to say, just in case I don't um talk about it, and it's only because of what. So she did a live with someone on TikTok, I think,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and she mentioned how she wanted to be engaged and all this kind of stuff, but didn't see my intentions of it. So, and the plan was for always for me and her to go to Dubai and live out there and start a business. Again, I know for a fact that is 100% false.
Mhm.
We did not have any chats about moving to Dubai. I think you can see from the show, I'm a massive family man. I would never ever do that. I'd never leave my nieces. So that's
Mhm.
completely off the table. I'm just going to say that there. Um, she never actually told me that she was moving to Dubai. She said she was going to open up a business there, and she was going out for a friend's birthday, which I was actually going to go to in Dubai. But I said, look, there's a lot going on right now. I think we need our space. I think it's better if you go to Dubai and let me stay here and we have our own space. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Um, and then before she went on the show, she actually sold her car. She was living at home with all of her stuff packed up
Mhm.
because when she moved into mine, it was all ready to be moved into.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So in my head, I'm thinking, was she really always moving to Dubai? Because I spoke to one of my friends. He said, how did she move to Dubai? It's not as easy as any other country. You need that residency. You need this, that, and the other. And
Mhm.
apparently, what, 2, 3 days after breaking up, she's moved out there. So I'm thinking, okay, hold on. Like something doesn't add up here. Like
Mhm.
what's really going on? And
Mhm.
like, I'm not saying this out of, oh, she moved to Dubai, blah, blah, blah. You do, like, it's your life. You do whatever you want, but communicate that with me. If your like short term goal is to go and move to Dubai,
Yeah.
at least say it in a pod, say it obviously all this time that we're together, because for me personally, I wouldn't have pursued that connection
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I know that I'm going to be staying at home, staying in Essex. I also had a cat who everyone keeps asking about, but unfortunately, she's no longer with us. She did make it
Oh,
Aw.
on
sorry.
Netflix, so she's on Netflix history, but I don't even
Aw.
know how to take a cat to Dubai. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So she
I just
never mentioned moving to Dubai the whole time you were
no,
together.
and
Just
I'm very surprised she brought that up because and said it so freely because I can tell you now, there's no chance I was ever moving to Dubai. We never had that chat. Um, Felt a bit disingenuous on her part.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say because
Okay, so if you had to give us a reason why you guys broke up, what like simple why did you guys break up?
so Barda mentioned at the reunion on something else maybe that it was because I told her to take the ring off in front of my ex, and then
Right.
there was a dinner after this with some of the cast.
Mhm.
And I was speaking to, like, again, 2 hours late, by the way.
Yeah.
2 hours late when we should have met, but we should have had a little date night before meeting the cast. And I said,
Mm.
meet me at 4, 4:30 if you're running late. Again, she was like kind of working from mine, so she didn't really have a real reason as to be late.
Mhm.
And obviously she's been late before. I spoke to her about it, communicated. I was trying to compromise. You can be a little bit late because obviously, like, if it doesn't like meet your and how your day's going, it's fine. But if you could, we have a little date night and then we can meet everyone else.
Mm.
So 2 hours late, I meet everyone else, and then she comes strolling in. And I thought, look, now's not the time to kind of pick her up on it in front of everyone. Like, I've got a bit of respect for her. We'll
Mhm.
talk about it when we get home. So
Mhm.
we're all having a laugh, we're all having a drink. We get to this dinner, and I speak to one of the cast members, and he was like, Jed, what happened at the wedding? I thought you were like a for sure. And I said, mate, I couldn't even tell you. But like, we're getting on well not right now. We're having a few bickers. Look, she's even still wearing the ring. And I
Mhm.
look over and the ring's off. And
Mhm.
after all this blindsided moments and all these like being misheard and no communication and all this other stuff that I've now found out, she's now taken off the ring in front of everyone out of all the places that you could have done it.
Mm.
I spoke to her at the reunion about it, and she was like, it wasn't a big deal. You were working. I was like, yeah, but we live together. I've
Yeah.
got a mobile phone in
Mhm.
front of all the cast to try and embarrass me. Like, for me personally, for my person, that's not how they're going to act.
Mm.
I just thought it was out of line. So I just said to her, look, we're done. Again, we had a bicker in front of everyone, and I just thought, look, this is not me. You ask family, friends. I don't bicker just in general. I just don't.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No time for it. I'm too just in my own world trying to make everyone laugh and make everyone happy. That's the kind of guy I am. So she
Okay.
did that and obviously dented my pride, my ego, all that kind of stuff. My barriers come back up, and I thought this is not the girl that I was speaking to in the pods, because in the pods, the only thing you do in the pods is be heard. Like that,
Mm.
and it's so powerful, it's so intense. You're like, oh my God, I don't feel like anyone's listened to me like this before.
Mhm.
Outside of pods, all these things start coming up, and I'm thinking, okay, like something's not right. So have a bicker. I tell her like it's done. Go through the night. And again in this live, she was like, what did she say? She said something like, "Oh yeah, he was flirting with all these girls around the table." I'm thinking we're with the cast members. Like
Mhm.
someone would have pulled me up
Mhm.
if I was acting out because we're still kind of like together at this point. Well,
Yeah.
seemingly together, even though she's taken off a ring. So yeah, I disagree with her comment on that. But then after, I was like, look, I've been disrespected too many times. I said to her, look, you've got to find somewhere else to stay because one, we can't resolve conflict, especially like normal circumstances. We're
Mhm.
both quite emotional right now. We've both had a drink. Like you really do need to find somewhere else to stay because it's just going to be icy. We're not going to get on. It's just not good for both of us. Again, there's no malice behind it. It's just
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to do what's best for both of us, and I felt like at the time I need to be open, and I actually need to kind of put myself first because she's not putting me first. She
Mhm.
didn't
Mhm.
consider my feelings when she took off the ring in front of everyone. So I'm like, okay, look, let's kind of go our separate ways, and then I just said, look, it's done, it's over.
Okay. So you feel like she took the ring off in front of everyone purposely to spite you because as like a get back because you asked her to take it off in front of your ex? Am
But
I understanding
potentially,
that?
I actually don't know. But I
Okay.
think that's what she said at the reunion. So she did it just to be like, you asked me to
Yeah.
take it off, so I took it off. But when I asked her, like, no ring now, she said it fell off in the shower.
Right.
So what one was it? Did you take it off or did it fall in the shower? So
Right.
it's like,
That
like
didn't make sense to me on the reunion either. Like, oh, it
yeah,
fell off in the shower and I couldn't tell you because you were at work. Like, it literally made no sense. And then now I'm hearing, like, so was the ring off because Netflix told you guys to take it off, or was it was kind of being used as like a pawn of like, don't wear it
I
in
would,
front of my girlfriend, don't wear it in front of my friend, or like it, because it kind of seems like
yeah.
it's like it doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
No, so she actually said, "Do you want to go outside and talk?" And at that time, I said, "No, I don't. I don't. I think our communication is done. I don't
Mm,
really
Yeah.
want to know why. I don't really. Sometimes I don't need closure on stuff. I feel like in every decision that someone does, they've thought about it enough to make that decision. So you've thought about it. You didn't want to communicate with me before doing it. So I don't want to understand your reasons why now.
okay.
I
Mhm.
got to a point where I just looked like I'm done.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it just got to that. So it might have been made as a pawn, just like because
Mhm.
I said take it off in a prior situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But for me, there's time and places. Like I respected her when we were out in public. Obviously, with the gym thing, I was just trying to keep the peace. There's no malice behind it. She kind of should have known that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Well, Vicky,
Yeah, go on.
not
your
Vicky.
story seems to match.
We'll give
Actually,
Vicky.
like Vicky said, this is what she said. So a user said no one was supposed to know if they're married, engaged, or even taking part in the show. So it made sense for her not to wear the ring around someone he knows would go and spread that info.
Yeah.
And then somebody says she said he didn't tell her that his fiance was in the same room. He implied his ex is a big gossip. And so Vicky replied and said, she's definitely not a big gossip. And
Yeah.
Vicky also said,
Nothing wrong with that, Vicky.
right, nothing wrong with a little gossip. Vicky she said, I definitely would not have made a scene. I already knew about all of this, as you stated. I
Yeah.
was over on the other side of the gym with my boyfriend, as you
Cool.
stated, and there was no way I could see her ring. She says, I was also in there for a whole of
50.
15 minutes.
Someone sent
Yeah.
me this one, yeah.
Okay.
Which is fine. Again, I didn't mean to drag her in, and obviously, you never really want like to bring an ex into the situation. It was just
Right.
because that was our situation, and we had to kind of work around that. So,
Right.
yeah, didn't mean to bring her into this whole thing. I didn't really
Yeah.
need her to have to go out of her way
Yeah.
to message and comment, because obviously she's got her own life that she's living.
Mhm.
But yeah, apparently they've been in
Yeah.
touch, and yeah, smashed it.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently Vicky and Barda spoke to each other and Vicky was in
Yeah.
support of Barda. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
she's not going to be in. So no ex is going to be in support of their own ex. I don't think anyway.
it's true.
So
True. That is
look,
very
Yeah.
facts.
look,
Yes.
look, it is what it is. I know, like deep down, I've got a pure heart. I'm not out here to hurt anyone. I go on emotions. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Mhm.
And for the ones that really know that I won't go out to be like do anything. Um, yeah, to hurt anyone. It's just not
Yeah.
the person that I am. But if I understand how she could take some situations that way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
sounds like
Okay.
you said like what you said, you misworded it on the reunion, so Vicky was thinking you were trying to
yeah,
imply she
yeah,
would be upset that you were engaged, but that's not what you
absolutely.
meant, right?
No,
So
Right.
that's
no.
why yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
more of just like out of everyone that will gossip. Yeah, I'm not saying that she's a big gossip, but out of everyone who would want to kind of discuss
Yeah.
if
Well,
your new partner's got, yeah,
any girl seeing their ex out engaged is gonna tell her friends and family and other people, so
yeah. It was all
it makes
literally, it
sense.
was just for the contractual stuff. It was literally
Yeah.
contractual. I was not
Yeah.
putting anyone above anyone. It was just like, we can't be seen, ruin the story. There's big clauses in the contract not to do it.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I get it, right? So it's like you contractually, it had nothing to do with your ex. It was just about the contract and thinking she might be the one to go and spread this information. Barda
Yeah.
kind of took it like, nah, you being sneaky.
Yeah, yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
want her to see. So
Yeah.
now you don't want me to wear the ring. I'm not going to wear the ring. Now I'm going to embarrass your ass in front of all of our friends. Since you don't want me to wear this damn ring, I won't wear it.
Yeah.
And you felt like she was doing it to embarrass you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
obviously that's from my side. I felt like
okay.
it was a move to maybe, like, I don't know, to embarrass me maybe, or to make a point, but
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
like that's her way of dealing with things, and yeah, just it is what it is, I suppose.
So
Okay.
was that the last time you saw her until the
Literally
reunion?
my next
Uh,
question.
we're always
Oh
like
my god, girls, go easy on me, go easy.
we're
No,
psychic.
yeah. So I think the day after she messaged me, said I'm gonna come and collect my stuff. She came, collected her stuff, and yeah, the next like couple of days she was off in Dubai. And like I said, it's not that easy to move to Dubai. So did you have something all kind of worked up already? Was it in the plans? Because we definitely didn't
Mhm.
talk about that. But
Mhm.
yeah, and so for the 8 months or 9 months it was, we didn't speak at all.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so we spoke obviously for the first time at the reunion.
Mhm.
And obviously everyone saw kind of what happened there. We actually had a PR party a week after, I think it was. Um, Oh, yeah, we had to basically watch our our wedding in front of like a whole crowd.
Okay.
So that
Oh,
was
wow.
lovely. Um, but in the back of my mind, all I'm thinking is she okay? Like,
Mhm.
I can't really see her too much because like the boys are on one side, the girls on their side. But all I'm thinking is like, how's she taking this? Because you can be all strong and independent and all that, but if there's people making noises at the back and they're cheering or like people backed us. A lot of people
Mhm.
backed us, even
Yeah.
on social media. People were backing us, and
Mhm.
all I'm thinking is like, is she okay? How's she feeling? I hope she's not too down about it. And I can just hear comments from her, like not good comments, basically. And I'm
Mm.
thinking like, why? Like, there's just no need. Like, it didn't work out. We're not compatible. I obviously need someone more in their feminine energy. I need someone a bit softer, and she needs someone else too, and that's absolutely fine. But it
Okay.
doesn't need to get nasty. It doesn't need to get like it should have been amicable. Okay, cool.
Right. It didn't
So
seem amicable at all.
No.
no.
Like
So
something's
after,
going on here.
we actually spoke, and proper sat down, probably spoke like we've never spoke before, and was open and honest. And we squashed everything. We even made like a little video. It was a funny one, and I said, look, let's like start being amicable. Let's start doing things right, and blah blah blah. Cool. Like we had a little cuddle. We were talking. We were joking. I'm thinking, and we even said to each other, it's so much like less energy to be amicable than to try and like get one up on someone. I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because I've been seeing your comments, darling. So everything was cool. In the morning, we spoke, hugged it out, and said, "Look, like I'm glad we had this chat. It means a lot. It means a
Mhm.
lot to me. I like that you're okay." Um, and then the next few days, I'm seeing her liking comments about like F Jed and all these things. I'm thinking, what is going on? Because if you see the stuff that I was doing, I was ignoring all of the bad stuff about her. I was even hiding comments about her because
Mm.
her mates or like the cast members would have shown her because the boys show me everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you'll find out. I was hiding stuff, not liking any comments. She's liking it. She's going on to podcasts, like saying all sorts about me.
Mm.
But I don't know what it is, whether she's trying to drag my name through the mud, stay relevant. I actually don't know. But again,
Mm.
I'm so just not part of it anymore. Like, I'm just trying to take myself out of it. I'm trying to do what's right for me. I was even trying to do like funny comments, and people change the narrative because the narrative after the wedding and after the reunion is like they hate each other. Something must have gone on. Oh my God, we need to see what happened. I
Yeah.
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's
so
us.
after this PR party, I started making a few like comments on like, so Love Is Blind would put up a story, a post, a story. I would comment on it like of her and like her podcast or just the way that whatever. And I was like doing stuff like, oh, preach it, girl, and getting like loads of love. And then they're like, oh my God, are they back together? Oh my God, they're amicable. What's going on? And the whole narrative changed from something must have happened to, oh, they're getting on. And then
Mhm.
she even commented back and I commented and she tagged me in a story. I'm thinking, oh, this is bliss. This is how it should be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The next day, she's liking comments and talking about me behind my back and making up all these stories. I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on? So
Mhm.
obviously she's, yeah, not happy. But now I'm staying clear of it. You're not going to see me badmouth the girl at all. It's just not the way I roll.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it because like, I don't want any bad blood. And there wasn't any bad blood. Like, we
Mhm.
squashed everything. But yeah,
Mhm.
obviously we're not seeing eye to eye and we're not talking. So yeah, it's just kind of ended like that.
Yeah. It's just like I'm hearing that you guys really actually don't seem compatible at all, and it's crazy because as viewers you guys seemed so compatible. Like it was like a for
Yeah.
Mhm.
sure. But I think the more that's coming out, I'm like, okay, like it's just kind of like they're different and they need different people. What
But
kind of comments was she making when y'all were watching the wedding?
and let me go back to what you just said about the compatibility, because I think you're spot on with that. I think you're so spot on about not being compatible, and that is fine. Yes, we
Mhm.
Mhm.
had an intense journey. Yes, there was a lot of love, a lot of respect, and everything, but
Uh,
we're not compatible. So just
Mhm.
like leave it as that. It doesn't need to be a bigger thing. It doesn't. She doesn't need to go on these lives, and she doesn't need to make these like videos and just.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. It was crazy
she did make that comment in the press. We saw the clips where she
about.
said the money, like you said, when
Yeah,
it comes out, then you'll have money, and then you said you did not say that. So where did
yeah.
she get that from?
So again, we squashed this at the PR party, and the thing was, so when we got out. Um, yeah, we were dating, and I said to her like, oh, like I don't. This is not really my world. I don't really know like what to expect. But hopefully, if we get a few followers in that, I might start doing a podcast because I've seen like Freddie and Benaya do a podcast and they're
Mhm.
really loved. And I thought you'd be silly not to be on this platform and then just like kind of let it go because number
Yeah.
one, everyone knows you're going on a reality TV like dating show. So yeah, I'm in there wholesomely for love. I want my wife. That's what I'm in for. But
Mhm.
after the show's done, okay, cool.
Mhm.
How are we now gonna just like keep enjoying it? So
Yeah.
I said to her like, oh, I'm thinking about maybe doing like a podcast with my friend, my brother, maybe starting a business.
Mhm.
It was nothing to do with money because I don't know. You don't really get money from this type of show. Love
Mhm.
Island, I can imagine you might get some other stuff or
Mhm.
any other show, but this is a love show. This you don't get money from this show, so I don't really
Mhm.
kind of understand that where she was
Mhm.
coming
Yeah.
from. But
Mhm.
she told me basically it was because I didn't include her name when I said I'm going to do a podcast and I'm going to start a business. So then she said, "Oh, I was in it for the money." I was thinking, yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know where she comes up with these things, but like I just
Yeah.
take it on the chin. I don't know really what to say.
Men
Even in
and
Um,
women
most
communicate very differently.
yeah,
Like,
trust me. I'm just like I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
we're from Venus, you guys are from Mars. Like it's
Yeah, we're
just
seeing
Yeah,
it seems like a common thing where Bardo was taking a lot of what you were saying and filling in blanks of herself, like, "Oh, you didn't mention me in the podcast. That means you don't want to be with me," or like really,
yeah,
which happens sometimes. And sometimes we're right, like women's intuition. So it's
yeah.
sometimes
No, absolutely.
yeah, it's good and bad, right? But most successful, genuine couples from these shows, they do pivot to business ventures. They do YouTubes, they do podcasts. I don't think it's that weird at this point for anyone on these shows to comment about what are we going to do with this platform after. Like at first people were very shocked about that and now it's like every person on these shows is doing that. No.
not to be a messy bitch, but I'm
Oh
a
yeah,
messy
yeah.
bitch. But what comments was she like kind of making when you guys were watching the wedding back?
I don't know, like something. So I think I was with in episode 9. I'm sitting with my boys in like the lodge where like I'm getting ready, and I'm like speaking like highly about her. And I think like one of the boys asked me like, "Are you ready?" I think I replied something like, "I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't have you boys here if I wasn't ready." And
Mhm.
then all I could hear from her was like, "Oh yeah," or something like that. And I'm thinking. Like, I'm in
Yeah.
this just as much as you are. I wouldn't
Mm,
bring my family, my friends all the way up to the location where the wedding was. I wouldn't
right.
get them involved. I would have just ended it. I wouldn't have brought them all
Mhm.
to the altar to then say no.
Mm,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. Like, she obviously has her reasons, but again, maybe men and women communications, but I just didn't really see anything like that. I wouldn't have done that to her. I wouldn't have tried to embarrass her, tried to knock her down because it's just not the way I'm kind of built.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts about what went down with Cal and Billy and Sorover, all of that
No.
drama, or you stay out of that drama?
I try and stay out of it. Obviously, they have their reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Cal and Sarova, mate, yeah, like he mentioned, like maybe he just couldn't give her what she wanted.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He said that he's not a relationship type of guy, and it kind of made me sad a little bit when I heard
Mm,
that because I'm thinking,
mhm.
look, everyone deserves love. I know you might not think about it now, but there is going to be someone that you want to give everything to, and even like his brother was like, oh yeah, he'll always put himself first, but there's going to be someone that knocks him off his feet and he will give to him. And he even said, like, again, said something nice. He was like, oh, if it's not Sarova, it's no one because she was perfect on paper, like
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
again, like not compatible, but maybe she was wanting a bit more of a go at things where he was kind of like blunt and just been like, look, I don't see it anymore and I'm done. So
Mm.
Mhm.
communication styles and things like that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely should have said no, I
Said
feel like.
no.
Yeah.
Like you should have just said no. Like it's just
Yeah.
kind of crazy that you said yes and
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
into a whole marriage just to be
Yeah,
like, you know
crazy.
what? Never mind.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not for me. Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
get caught up when you're up there. You get caught up in a lot of emotions and a lot of
Okay.
things like
Yeah.
that. So maybe it was part of that, but maybe they both said at that point in time, and I feel like people in the comments hate that saying, but they said
Mhm.
at that moment in time, the answer was yes. The answer was I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
then you're taken out of your bubble. You're not being followed around by cameras and having all these dates, and real life kicks in. Two very
Mhm.
different people were trying to merge, and unfortunately, yeah, they just couldn't.
Yeah.
Same with Billy and Ashley. I think he's like he said, his worst fear come to light when he was like, I don't do cabin crew, where she's away and he's away. So for me personally, um, I don't like long distance. I want my girl next to me. I'm a big lover of affection, PDA'd a lot of it. So with someone being away for that long and not seeing them for that long, I would find it hard myself, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
obviously put myself in that situation of having a girl like that. Not
Yeah.
saying that there's anything wrong with her. I think she's lovely, but just circumstances, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Right. You sense the red flag. And I think that was the problem with Billy, right? Like you knew this from the pod, so you just shouldn't have moved forward, let
Yeah.
alone say yes at the altar. Like it's
Yeah.
just crazy that they went through with a whole yes.
But
I'm like,
yeah, but again, both of them said yes. That's all I'm gonna say. Both of them said yes,
that's
boys and
true.
girls,
Yeah.
That's
boys
true.
and girls.
That's true.
Yes.
But
We were
the
shocked.
girls really seemed into it. That's the problem, right? Like they seemed like it was like, yes, hell yes. And the boys, we knew the girls were gonna say yes. It was the men that I would have bet my life savings that Billy and Cal were gonna say no. So when
Oh,
they said
really?
yes, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the view where I was like, Cal's a fuck boy. Like, get out of here.
Oh,
Yeah, but
he's
I
lovely.
could see him from a mile away. I
He's
was
lovely.
right. He's a F boy. It's okay. It's all right.
No.
His
I'm gonna back my
brother.
boys. I'll back my boys.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay. He's a F boy. It's okay. It's
No.
okay.
Um,
And Billy, it just seemed like okay. They have some really extreme differences. So,
yeah.
different lifestyles, different jobs, like doesn't seem like a good fit. So I thought, okay, for sure they will say no.
Yeah.
So surprising
Yeah.
that they didn't. Anywho,
Yes.
are you dating anyone, Jed? What's going on with you? Are you back on the market? What's up?
I'm back on the market. So for me personally, I found it quite hard to date after the show because number one, I felt like it wasn't easy to turn off my like emotions and everything from the show and obviously from Barda. I'm not a relationship jumper, as they say, from one relationship to the next. So I kind of took some time like for myself and I got back into gym, got back into work, spent time with friends and family, and we spoke openly about everything that went on. And it was nice. It was just like getting back to real life. And then again, I still found it hard when I started even talking to girls because I was like, ideally in my head, I'm like, I want the show to come out. People can
Yeah.
make their own judgments and people can make their own like opinions on it. And then if they want to ask me questions, then I'm more than happy to be open and ask questions of how I thought things went down. They might see other comments saying otherwise, but like, I can only give my side of the story because I'm not in everyone's head and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So I was like, look, call out like you. I've got like a lot of friends. I've got like obviously my family. I can spend time with my nieces. I can do all this, go gym, work, and all that kind of stuff, and I can focus on myself. And then after obviously it's now aired, it kind of it's a bit of nostalgia, like bringing up like a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. So now, yeah, just back on the market, but not in any rush. The next one has got to be the one because for the whole reason I went in the show. I want marriage, I want kids, I want like a forever person. So I have to make sure it's the right one. And yeah, like I've learned a lot from the show of what I kind of want. So before people would ask me, what do you want? And like, yeah, ambitious girl. It's like something that they have. So now I understand that I'm I think for me, I'm more compatible with a softer girl.
Yeah.
Someone's in their feminine energy, and that's absolutely fine. It's not. There's not a problem with me wanting that, and Barda wanting someone who fits into her world. So there's some comments. Oh my god, like yeah, he wants someone to control. It's not about controlling. It's about just being compatible with someone, and everything will come easy. Like just
Yeah.
without having to try and battle and being like in a competition with someone.
What about Holly that you mentioned from the pods? Have you guys connected at all? Are you gonna connect maybe, or didn't
No,
pan out in the real world?
So for me personally, I can't go to any other cast, respectively, just because I had my cast member and that was
Yeah.
Barda. So I'm not really going to rekindle anything. Holly's a lovely girl. We have spoke, funnily enough, at this party that we went to after the wedding that Barda was there. And we had a chat and she asked me some questions like, how come and all that kind of stuff. And I was open with her because I felt like she deserved that. I understand she's in a relationship now. She's happy. And yeah, I'm happy for her. Yeah, she's a lovely girl.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
That's always
Mm,
nice. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I feel like we did get a lot of clarity
Yeah.
Yes,
today
good.
on you and
Good.
Barda's situation because I was confused. I'm
Yeah.
I
like,
think a lot of people are.
yeah, like, and the reunion didn't help at all. I left even more confused. It just
Mm,
seemed like both of you guys were being very vague and like keeping it cute, but then there's like something underlying, like you said, we're
yeah.
assuming something massive happened, you
So
know.
there's respect between us. There's like
Mhm.
obviously stuff that we don't want. Like it's just like it's like any relationship. Like there's stuff
Right.
Yeah.
that stays in a relationship, but
Mhm.
like she's hinting at stuff and
Yes.
making people assume stuff, and that's almost worse because
Yeah.
you're
Yes.
now making it out to believe like I'm this horrible monster that goes around. I'm thinking like just it's fine. Like we're not compatible. That's fine.
Mhm.
Move
Mhm.
on. I want you to be happy. I want you to do what you need to do, and I'll go my separate way. And it should have been amicable, and I thought it was
Yes.
going to be, but obviously it's not. So I don't feel. I think she's kind of just gone down a path that I can't really be like, oh, let's try and be amicable again because I think she's gone a bit too far for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she did do a Q&A and she kind of said that she didn't have a problem with you paying for stuff. It was never about being a provider. She wanted you to pay for stuff. She
Yeah.
wanted you to be the provider and that you weren't the like you know just alluding to like you weren't who you were portrayed on camera. So it became very confusing because we're like, well,
Ah,
if you
yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it
so one in the Q&A, she actually tagged me in one of them. I think
mhm,
someone asked her for like £50, and she put Jed like, "Can you
Oh, I
help
saw
or
that.
something?" And
yeah,
I
I
was like,
seen
"Oh,
that.
now you want me to pay?" And there was a lot of back and forth. It was yeah, I love that kind of stuff. But then
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's on stuff saying like, so at the reunion, I said something like, she moved into mine, she was driving my car, kind of stuff. Again, she thinks I'm coming at it with like malice. I'm thinking, no, you said that I wasn't doing anything to try and salvage the relationship. So all I was trying to say is I moved you into mine. That's a massive thing for me. Like
Hmm.
I'm trying to make you feel comfortable. I'm trying to make you feel at home. Like you could buy whatever you want for the house. Like inside, make it feel homely and all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Driving my car because she sold her car, like I
Mhm.
said before. So you're driving my car. I didn't say that you weren't putting petrol in it. I didn't say anything, but I was putting petrol in it too. It's a relationship. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay, no, I didn't mean any malice. You were just driving my car to get around. Okay, cool, to make you feel comfortable. This is the angle I was coming at. Then she was like, "Oh, I bought all the groceries." I'm thinking, darling, like I didn't ask you for mortgage. I didn't ask you for insurance. I didn't ask you for anything. Not that I was going to. Not that I'm going to use that against you. But I bought groceries. You bought groceries. So she was trying to like stick it on me. I'm thinking I don't understand where you're coming from this because we were both paying our way. We were both
Mhm.
paying for the things that we needed in this house, and she was acting like. She put all the petrol in the car. She bought all the groceries. She was cleaning the house. I'm thinking, well, I was at work to be fair, so
And you were paying the mortgage though.
yeah,
The
but
full
that's
thing?
yeah, but that's nothing to me because she just moved. Number one, she just moved in. Number two, this is kind of like my house, and like I'm paying the bills. It's fine. Like I'm not gonna. I don't really ask for that kind of stuff. It's not
Yeah.
like if she offered to pay, I'd be like, look, pay for like dinner or something. Pay for something else. Use your money on us in another way. Just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like yeah, I don't want you to be feeling like you own something just because like you're living here, and like, that's
Yeah.
the way that I think. I don't want you to be put out. I don't want you to feel like you're under stress for paying. You've only literally just moved in, so there's no way that I'm asking you to pay for the mortgage. Just like pay
Right.
for a dinner, and then she's coming
Or the
across like, oh
groceries.
yeah,
Yeah.
Or the
he didn't.
groceries.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, he didn't have a problem when I was paying for stuff. I'm thinking, of course I didn't. You wanted to pay for stuff. Like this is a
Yeah.
50-50 game here. So I
Mhm.
really, I didn't know what she wanted from me. I was just trying to be
Yeah.
nice, trying to make her fit in, and she obviously took it a different way, but
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
know.
it seemed
Well,
very confusing. Trust me.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like we got a lot more clarity today. So
Mhm.
that's why we
Yeah.
love having these chats because we get so much more context and now things just make way more sense. So we
Mhm.
appreciate you chatting with us and telling us
No.
all of the backstory because it helps people understand way more. So,
Mhm.
what's next for you? Any more dating shows or shows in general? Any big plans coming up?
To be fair, I don't know. I'm still living my life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like it's got to be the right opportunity. I liked Love Is Blind over other dating shows because I felt like it was real. It was put your heart on the line. The marriage is real after. So I kind of jumped into that when I got approached. I was like, yeah, no, you know what? I actually like this the way they were describing it. So it
Mhm.
would
Yeah.
have to be if I was approached the right show. Again, if I'm not approached, then I was Jed before the show. I'm Jed after the show. I'm still
Mhm.
just gonna keep doing things that make me happy. So yeah, I don't really know how to answer that
No.
question.
Are your
Just seeing
DMs
how it goes.
flooded, Jed, with women or?
Just no, to be fair, men, women, just like wishing me all the best. A lot of stuff about like it's nice to see a traditional man because there's not many around anymore.
Tell me about it.
See,
I'm
like I
just
don't
Ricky's
know.
trying to find one.
But like some people love it, some people don't, and it's just like I'm not here to please everyone. Like I have my morals, I have my values. I'd
Mhm.
ideally like someone with the same morals and values. Someone who's very like homely, nurturing, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hopefully I'll find someone. But DMs are just full of love, support, and I'm grateful for everyone who's taken the time out to kind of send me something nice.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
that's
that's
good.
sweet. That's
Well,
sweet.
speaking of DMs,
Mm.
where can our listeners find you? What's your handles on socials?
So just my name, so it'll be just JEDCHOUMAN, so Jed Schumann.
Okay.
Perfect. Awesome.
Okay. And you're on Instagram, TikTok.
Instagram, just started up a TikTok now, just trying to put a few bits on there. I'm not an influencer, so bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get there.
It's fun. You'll figure it out. So
Yeah.
any final thoughts? Any other tea you want to spill before we go?
Me too. No, I appreciate you girls having me on this. It's nice to kind of um, voice, obviously, my side. You
Mhm.
asked some very good questions. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just I hope all the maybe actually, maybe for this is maybe your viewers are just in America. So all I'm gonna say is be nice to the cast, please. There's
Yeah.
some not nice comments going around. We've already got enough stick. Be nice,
Mm.
be kind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Show love and support instead of maybe making a negative comment. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, we tell you all the time, just don't go to their personal pages or personal DMs and
Yeah.
talk
No.
mess. Like you
Go to the
talk,
ones you love. Go to the ones you
yeah,
love.
just talk mess on your
Exactly.
own with your friends, with us, but don't go to
Yeah.
these people's pages. That's so
Yeah.
No.
crazy to me.
Yeah,
Because
That
leave
people
them
yeah,
do
because
alone and talk amongst yourselves.
literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it's been so much fun having you here. Thank you for
Uh,
joining us today. It was very nice to get some clarity. I feel like I've heard a lot of Barta's side, so it was very nice to get your side. And like I said, a lot more clarity to what happened because we were all so confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
So
I'm glad. I'm glad you got a bit of clarity now.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jen. And we will see you guys back next time for our
Yeah.
Broadway.
And
Bye, guys.
tell
Bye,
your
guys.
parents
Cheers.
tell your parents we say hi. They were so cute. So
Oh, they're the cutest. I tell you. I will
okay.
do. I will do.
Okay. Bye
Bye, guys.
guys.